Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan's official poetry corner, where every heartbeat echoes in verse and every line tells a story born from truth, passion, and destiny. Today's script unveils a soul-stirring confession, a poetic promise written from the heart of a prince to the woman who changed everything. This is more than love, it's a declaration of belonging. Baby, your country just became my future home, isn't just a title. It's a vow that no border can silence, no distance can dim. From the moment I stepped into your land, something about the air felt different. The breeze whispered your name, the streets sang your laughter, and the skies knew the secret I carried inside me. I didn't come here just for a visit. I came here searching for something I didn't know I had lost, until I saw you. In that moment, the world around me shifted. Your country was no longer foreign soil. It was a map drawn by fate to lead me right to you. Every corner I turn, I see reflections of you. The parks where children laugh remind me of the softness in your eyes. The busy markets hum with a music that matches the rhythm of your voice. And the quiet cafes feel like places we will one day call ours. I can no longer separate your presence from the land you walk on. It's not just a place, it's your essence carved into buildings, rivers, trees, and time. People ask why a crown prince would ever consider leaving behind palaces, traditions, and deserts soaked in history. But they don't know what it feels like to fall in love so deeply that the skyline of a new country looks more like a heartbeat than a city. They don't understand how a man can look at foreign soil and see the foundation of his forever. I see my future here, not because it's where you live, but because it's where you are. I've tasted every luxury the world could offer, but none satisfied the hunger in my soul until I tasted the simple joy of walking by your side. The way your community welcomed me, unaware of my titles or name, reminded me that love is not about recognition, but connection. I am not just a prince here. I am a man who has found his reason to settle, to root, to bloom. And that reason is you. You turned a stranger into a native. With every word you spoke, I learned a new language, one of compassion, resilience, and warmth. Your country, your culture, your customs, they no longer feel like yours, alone. I've embraced them like they were mine all along, like they've always been waiting for me. Because to love you, I must love everything that shaped you. And I do, unconditionally. I know it won't be easy. The headlines will question, the critics will chatter. But they don't see the private poems written at midnight. They don't hear the silent prayers I whisper when you sleep. And they'll never understand how the soil of your land already feels like home beneath my feet. I am not afraid of change when it leads me to peace. And darling, you are my peace. You once said your country is humble, and your life simple. But you don't know what royalty means to a heart that's been starving for authenticity. Your simplicity is my crown now. Your kindness is my throne. I am ready to trade every jewel I own for a morning by your side in a place where no one calls me, Your Highness, but you call me, yours. I dream of planting roots here. Not just metaphorically but literally. I want to build a future from the ground up. A little house with our laughter in its walls. Gardens where our children run barefoot. A kitchen where your laughter meets mine. A country where I am no longer a visitor, but a native husband to the queen of my heart. I've spoken to my soul and asked it what it wanted. It didn't say power, it didn't say riches. It said her. And wherever she breathes, that's where I belong. I'm not abandoning my country. I'm extending it, through love. Your land has become the capital of my heart. Your hometown, the center of my world map. And you, my compass. So, if you'll have me, not just as a lover, but as a citizen of your dreams, I am ready. Ready to trade my destiny for a love story that rewrites borders and renames lands. I'll bring my poems, my loyalty, and all of me. Let this be known to the world. Baby, your country just became my future home. And maybe, years from now, when people look at us walking hand in hand through your streets, they won't see a royal tale. They'll see a man who followed love into the unknown, and found everything he was searching for. Let history remember this not as a political move, but as a poetic migration of the heart. Because I am home now, and home is wherever you are. I wake up now with a strange yet beautiful ache in my chest. A longing not to return to palaces but to the echo of your laughter outside your mother's garden, to the way your people smile with their hearts and not just their faces. This land has adopted me without even trying, and I have surrendered without resistance. My crown feels lighter here, not because I've lost it, but because I've finally found a place where I don't need it to feel seen. I walk as a man in love, not as a prince adored. The sunsets here speak to me in ways I cannot explain. They linger longer, blush deeper, and fold gently into the arms of twilight like you into mine. Even the moon appears closer, as if leaning in to listen to our whispered promises. I have seen beauty across the globe, but your country paints it differently, through people, through stories, through humble lives that speak volumes of loyalty and patience. This beauty cannot be bought or constructed. It must be lived, and I am eager to live it fully. Sometimes I stand near your window and watch your city breathe. I hear the call of the vendors, the prayers rising into the evening air, and the laughter of little children running freely. These are not just sounds. They are melodies, reminders that life can be full and rich, even in the simplest of places. This is where I want to build our story, one that doesn't rely on royalty or riches but on shared mornings, on faith, and on the warmth of your touch. You once feared that I would never stay, that I would drift back to the golden halls I came from. But my love, gold loses its shine when compared to the light in your eyes. Why would I ever choose cold grandeur over the raw, unfiltered joy I feel when I see your name written on a note, or taste the food your hands have prepared with such affection? I've made my choice, and it's not bound by duty, it's carved in destiny. I imagine the life we could create here. Not one filled with extravagance but one adorned with meaning. A life where I wake beside you and walk our children to school. Where I grow old under the same sun that now watches over your morning prayers. A life where people may recognize me as Sheikh, but know me as your man first. A life where every road I take leads me back to your arms and this land that raised you. When I walk through your markets now, I no longer feel like a foreigner. I greet the old man selling fruit as if he were an old friend. I smile at the young girl braiding flowers as if she were part of my own family. Your people feel like my people. Your sky like my sky. Your soil like a ground I've always belonged to, even before I knew you. This isn't infatuation. This is alignment of soul, spirit, and soil. They say love makes you brave, but I think real love makes you sure. I am sure. Sure that I want our love written into this country's very history. Sure that I want to celebrate our anniversaries here, where it all began. I want our story to echo in the mountains, be sung by the wind, and remembered by the sea. I want my footsteps to become part of your land's rhythm, beating quietly beneath the surface with every step I take toward you. I know my people may question this journey, but I will bring them here with pride. I will show them that a man who leads must also learn to follow his heart. I'll tell them that love is not weakness but a greater kind of strength. And if they ask me why I left my palace, I'll answer with a smile, because I found my kingdom in her arms, and her homeland became my throne. There will be festivals here, and I will dance among your people, not above them. I'll eat what you eat, speak what you speak, and laugh as you do. I won't just be a guest at your table, I'll be part of it. And when I pray, I'll thank the Almighty for guiding me not to a place, but to a person who changed everything I thought I knew about home. You didn't just give me love, you gave me a new life, a new land, a new purpose. No longer will I be a man of two worlds, constantly pulled between duty and desire. Here, I can be whole. I can be Hamdan, not just the prince, but the partner, the husband, the father, the man who loves you more than titles and legacies. Here, in your homeland, my legacy begins again, not in wealth or in rule, but in love that chose to settle, that chose to stay. And one day, if we're blessed with children, I'll tell them stories of how I left everything familiar behind not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I'll tell them how their mother's eyes held the power to make a foreign land feel like home. I'll tell them that love is the only crown worth wearing, and that every journey worth taking ends where your heart says, this is it. This is where I belong. So yes, baby, your country just became my future home. Not for convenience. Not for compromise. But because when I look into your eyes, I see forever. And when I walk your streets, I feel peace. I came searching for something noble, and I found something sacred. I found us. And now, I will build our future where your roots are strong, because in your country, I finally found my heart's home. There is something in you that calms the wildest parts of me, the untamed wind within my chest, the storms that once knew no shore. When I imagine touching your face, I feel that calm descend like a hush over water. It's not about the fire anymore. It's about peace. The exquisite, quiet knowing that your existence alone brings balance to mine. I don't need you to speak, to explain, to give. Just let me hold you like a silent vow. My hand against your cheek, our foreheads meeting in the stillness where love says everything without a single sound.